Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Nithyananda, I welcome all of you with love, respect. I thank all of you for taking your time and come to today's session. As one of the most desirable celebrities, undoubtedly brings a twinkle in the eyes of many. While those who have already achieved that strive to keep it alive, we are going to meet someone who has chosen otherwise, from celebrity to a sannyasi. Today we are going to meet someone who has stood up as a paragon of real Hindu feminism, making the very idea of male chauvinism redundant through her powerful life. Someone whose every decision powerfully impacted society's ideas of gender equality, which is just confined to mere cerebral opportunities. Starring in more than 100 movies in 4 languages, her stardom was in its pinnacle. And at the same time, he became a target anti-Hindu terrorists who held a knife at her neck and blackmailed. How she responded back shook the whole world. A woman who stood up with an impermeable inner space. In today's world, issues like domestic violence, sexual abuse prevail a common happening. Millions of women struggling to bring a change, striving to see a difference. We are still in a place where empowerment has been reduced into mere cerebral opportunities and not the freedom and change in its true sense. A powerful inner space. The world needs a breakthrough, a revolution, the climate raises a leader, a rebel, a revolution. For the world today, Paramashivoham himself has designed
Hara Hara Shiva Shiva Rudreshwara Shiva Taraswara Priya Lingeshwara Bhutananda Shiva Nandana Priyaya Sakala Loka Sarva Sakti Swarupa.
Logic, words are his power. Woman is emotion, her breathing is her power. Understand? She's breathing. It's a command given to cosmos.
To behold these very words of Paramashiva as a testimony of true chastity stands Mayi. The year 1992 marked a turning point in her life function. Still in her adolescence, she had already decided to shoulder the responsibility of her family. 17-year-old was ready enough to enter into the world that was unknown to her, handpicked by one of the legendary directors of Indian cinema, Bharati Raja, in his Tamil movie. The same year, she made a debut in Kannada and wrote Telugu history too. charm was persuasive enough for her to garner people's love and quickly raise into fame as Ranjita in a very short span of time. Her dedication, passion and love for her work drove her to span in more than 100 films across 4 languages. Touching the peaks in every language, she was working with many top directors and actors. Her presence on screen was magnetic. It soon garnered her the Nandi Award in the year 1996. Touching the pinnacle of success in cinema led her path into advocating tirelessly to bring a positive change for women and became an ambassador for various NGOs and started volunteering in various organizations for various causes. Achieving the best in a very short span of time, none of her life was seeking anything stiffness and other His divine goodness or actions from the actions. By 2009, His divine goodness was already a huge phenomenon for the community. He was just perfect, but already millions for them have realized that he was at a time. A beacon of spiritual knowledge. Who could translate the difficult social things as practicable, applicable solutions in the modern world and giving it as a direct experience. Millions were drawn to him worldwide for his mission, passion and hard work. And Ranjita was one of them. In a place that was known for positive progress into a faith, Swamiji's proactive contribution to humanity and Hinduism posed a threat for many who believed Hinduism was going to face extinction. Intolerant of Swamiji's hard work, the huge mission getting established in all its glory. Extremists and anti-Hindu terrorists devised a malicious attack and decided to use Ranjita as a weapon. One of the worst ever persecution executed. More than 100 assassination attempts on Swamiji. When this vicious attack made many believe that the whole mission is come to an end. What took humanity by a shock was Swamiji not only revived his mission powerfully and his worship by millions worldwide as a supreme pontiff of Hinduism, leading the 2 billion Hindus all across the globe. But also his commitment to Ranjita's guru, despite the attack and spiral of while many were still struggling to fathom the extent of Swami's compassion. He would still along with power and suffering, the innate strength, the determination, courage and self-respect for powerful, chaste women she decided to have.
Protect me under these circumstances. Especially not when you're threatened with arrest for something you've not done.
Yes, I am not the person in the video. Yes, I know. Like I said, when I'm threatened with arrest and when there are bigger powers that play and I do not know how to handle them basically. I'm a very ordinary person who minds her own business, who goes to work, comes back home. That's it. That's my limitation of profile. Because the forensic lab says I cannot take on something which is not true. I cannot be a Galileo. Galileo is a great man. He recanted on his faith, on his beliefs. Because the church put pressure on him, but I am not. I cannot go based on a forensic lab report. I know it is not me, and that is what I'm sticking to. I cannot change it. She rose from the ashes, reborn again. My small brown eyes. The question of SANYAS was a tight slap to all their needs to establish an unshakable commitment to her. Today she is an unparalleled inspiration for women worldwide standing as fruitless faith for Swami's mission. Dedicating her life to Swami's mission, she had Swami's various projects to serve humanity. An acharya taking Swami's teachings to the world. In multiple languages, including English, Tamil, அதோட அடிப்படையில் me with more than 200 videos on YouTube. A mentor the guide supporting thousands of lives with Swamiji's teachings and guiding teens and youth and women with life solutions for issues facing the youth. A healer walking people out of problems by using the powers nature of the universe. A Srimati is an official representative of his divine, an icon of Hinduism heading the KAILASA United Nations global initiative for feminine empowerment and people. A beacon of integrity, chastity, strength, courage, dignity and inspiration, showing women the beauty of discovery, the inner strength and potential. Just through hard work, perseverance, endurance and conviction, she stands tall as a testimony for the beauty of life, powerful inner space.
Nithyanandam Nithyanandam. How and why? Yours honestly, season 3 with Mayi Swami. Women and sannyas. I should say these are the two topics that many times when it comes together have always caused controversies, sparking thousands of questions in our heads as women, as youth, as the next future generation. So as an answer to many of our questions, all of us sannyasis from the Nithyananda Sangha have decided to ask our questions to one of the best sannyasis, one of the best women and sannyasi herself. I'm really excited for today's segment. See, we might be very familiar with a popular saying, behind every successful man stands a woman. But this has been redefined with one person, one man behind the success of so many women. His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam.
I am as old as sun, as new as sunrise. Various incarnations happened, gave a breakthrough to consciousness and gave opening to the next level. My responsibility is to introduce new consciousness which manifests powers of Sadashiva. As Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akada, the oldest apex body of Hinduism, I welcome every one of you. I have experienced Sadashiva in his completion, and he has empowered me to transmit that experience to all of you. It's my commitment to all of you. I'll make you experience and manifest Sadashivatva, powers and state and space of Sadashiva. When you manifest powers, naturally the state of Sadashiva and space of Sadashiva starts manifesting in you. More power manifestation, more integrity, more unclutching, more nirvikalpa samadhi, more joy, more restful awareness, more responsibilism, more enrich, more bliss. This tradition has a capacity to retain its authenticity and originality. My purpose is to make this statement to the world. Hinduism is real. Ideas move from mind to mind. Energy moves from space to space. Cognitions move from body to body. That is why even Sadashiva needs a body. He assumed the body because he needs body to transmit these cognitions to you. Whatever I am doing is reviving the original science as expressed in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, Vedas and Agamas of the Hindu tradition. Given by Sadashiva, received by Devi, adopted by Vishnu to run this universe is Agama. Agamas insist on us serving beyond our frame. Whatever experience, anubhuti I had by my Guru's grace, Atma Pramana, I do acid wash with Shastra Pramana, Apta Pramana, the ancient masters' experiences. Whatever finally stand, I share it with the world as Sakshi Pramana. I welcome everyone for the grand feast of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Let us go on contributing.
Today's topic: what, when, how and why sannyas?
Freedom. What is freedom? Few people say it is the most beautiful feeling a human can ever feel. It is the feeling for which our species have fought for centuries. Many wars have been fought on our beautiful Mother Earth. For a race. For religion. For ego. For land, for a choice, for insanity, for oil, for justice, the sake of fighting. Even after so many wars, we're still fighting for freedom. Freedom from the restriction. Freedom to live the way we want to live. Freedom to do what we want. Freedom to say what we want. Yet still, why do we feel so empty at the end of the day when things don't go our way? Is that really freedom? Freedom comes with the ability to flow with life powerfully, whatever it may present to you. True freedom is surrounded by everything but owns nothing. True freedom can walk away from anything because it knows there's nothing to gain, nothing to lose. True freedom is afraid of nothing because it knows fear cannot exist where it exists. True freedom knows no attachment because it loves everything, gives everything, and asks for nothing in return. True freedom is when you can be free from your body and hear your spirit. True freedom is when you can make everyone's dreams a reality. Freedom is empowering yourself and others. True freedom is when you can be free no matter what. This is SANYAS. Come celebrate life. Live SANYAS. SANYAS, the ultimate freedom.
A subject that most of us are afraid to look into. Many of us do not have access to the right source to understand about it, and some of us are not given the right introduction or the right knowledge about sannyas. Swamiji, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam, whom we all fondly call as Swamiji, has powerfully revived the roots of Hinduism, the strength of Hinduism, the glory of Hinduism by reviving sannyas. I'm really eagerly waiting for today's segment to start. We have a really special person who will be joining with us and busting many of the myths of sannyas. I'm super excited because this person, personally, whom that I look up to as an inspiration, who has shown how a chaste woman is supposed to be through her life. A role model of Guru Bhakti. I should say, someone who is very, very, very close to me, whom many of us look up to as an ideal, as an icon. She's been an inspiration and much more to every woman in the whole Sangha and much more. If I have to try and describe, she's courageous, charismatic, dauntless, a great friend, a loving mother, an amazing support, and above all, a best sannyasi that all of us look up to. And I think these are the least that I can start to describe what she means to all of us. Actually, personally, she's someone who has been with me in many phases of my life. After Swamiji, it is she whom I look up to. In an eloquent attempt to try and introduce, I finally decided that one word can introduce her. Ma Nithyananda Swami. I think just that one word, Ma Nithyananda Swami, just that can simply define her, because the meaning is the one who embodies Swamiji himself, who is just standing true to that name, and whom we all fondly, with lots of love, call as Akka. Nithyanandam Akka. Nithyanandam Akka.
Nithyanandam.
My God, we are so happy to have you here, Akka. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming, because you're such an inspiration for all of us. And I think not just me, not just her, every single person, I'm sure everyone who's watching this will be sitting with a wide smile on their face, because today we are so happy to have you and have another beautiful question answer session with you. Just the last time you came so beautifully, you shared so many different dimensions, unknown things about you to us. So this time we are too excited. That to the topic is sannyas. So really excited to have you here, Ka. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. Your introduction, as usual, was so humbling. And it's just your love for me and our love for Swamiji that keeps us all together, so strongly bound to each other. I was just thinking when I was listening to you kids that, a lot of us feel for us, we are the family. We are each other's family. Even though we do have biological families, and we have left them to stay together, to live together as an ideological family. What we feel for each other, the way we are bound together by Swamiji and his mission, I think is much more stronger than what would be even a blood relation. I think that is the reason that we're all here for. But I also was feeling so blessed to be part of you all and this beautiful mission and the nation and the Sangha that Swamiji is creating for all of us. I think it's such a rare. The more we think about the mission, the Sangha, and Swamiji, it's like it's an unbelievable manifestation of the perfect world. Jealousy, there is no politics. Everything is only on the scale of integrity. Integrity to the commitment that we have taken towards Swamiji's mission, and Kailasa Nation. There is no parameters, we could say, or defined parameters to what we can achieve, because what we can achieve is immense. At the same time, we don't have to worry that, oh, someone will try to spoil my career choices or my profession or my vocation. So none of those politicking, gossiping actually ever work in our mission. I think that is one of the greatest gift that Swamiji has ever given to all of us who are Kailasavasis.
And Akka, just what you explained now, because we all see you living it and we have you as an amazing support for each of us. That is, I'm sure, because of that, we see you living it and it is such an inspiration. Really, just preparing for this, even just thinking of what to ask Akka, it was such a joy for each of us. Every sannyasi, every one of us are so excited, because us as a family and getting together here and having a discussion about sannyas, our life, is it's a very beautiful happening.
And especially occur to look at what Swamiji is giving, what is happening as Kailasa Nation, and where you are sharing so many different dimensions, where some things that we never looked at, and you're just explaining those. So it's like each of us are enriching each other with beautiful different dimensions, and that's really inspiring us even more. This is literally like how it's the beautiful saying Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, and we are literally experiencing that. Each one of us from different walks of life, from different corners of the world, together just for one person, Swamiji.
One person, one principle, the principle being Swamiji and Swamiji's mission.
Akka, as you're sharing this, and it's like so beautiful, I'm feeling more and more like excited. I have a question for you, Akka. 18 years you were in the acting field, and you were one of the top most celebrity and who was acting in 4 different languages. Just in 18 years, you have finished more 75 plus movies, and apart from that, many TV shows. Like that's almost like 5 to 6 movies a year. And apart from that, so many you were going and working, being a part of so many NGOs. So you, and even personally that I have seen you, you will always be doing something or other, like multitasking and continuously. I've seen you how you handle 2-3 meetings at a time. Like there'll be one phone over here and one laptop over here and one more phone you'll be messaging, you'll be managing like this. I've seen you in multiple ways how hardworking you are. And now, as a sannyasi, what is your day like?
Okay. What's a day? What's in a day?
I know your question would be whether when is it day or night, because you're awake the whole time.
What's in a day? 24 hours, 48 hours? No idea. We just keep expanding. Swamiji talks about time expansion. It's like, I think that I'm just experiencing there's no night or day. And because you're so excited with the vision and the mission, you don't feel the tiredness, the exhaustion that you would feel if you were doing something that you had to do for the sake of survival. Now we're doing it because we enjoy doing it. So I guess the definition of a day depends on how we define the day to be. There's no 24
Um,
hours. It's just a continuous running time.
Also, Akka, I'm just reminded of a small incident that she was sharing with me, because when she was talking about how hardworking you are or how multitasking you are, she was sharing an incident with me where there once she had an opportunity to travel with you somewhere, and that time she saw you were all just waiting, and there somewhere you had to just wait
For the
and
flight.
yeah, for a flight, and in that gap you were watching a video of how to make or knit something, a craft, and by the end of that journey you were so busy, you were completely involved in that, and by the end of the journey you had already learned how to make that craft, and you just normally took a key tag or something like that.
It's like you just had some twigs or something, and within that, like for a few minutes we had time, then we were sitting just waiting for the flight, and you started doing that. Like I was like, oh my god, not a single moment you wasted. We just came. So usually that is the time people take for talking, just chatting. But you didn't waste your moment, even a single moment in that. You were on continuous follow-ups and you were doing your work, simultaneously learning this. I was like amazed. That's the first time, I think that was the first time I got to travel with Yuka. And I was just amazed. That's why I was sharing with her, like, how you are so continuously hardworking and multitasking.
And how do you if okay, the right way I should ask it is, how do you keep yourself so excited? Or because many of them will really want to know this one thing, how you can keep yourself multitasking without any stress or without any tiredness. How do you just keep yourself so engaged and
Let me say, like, before I came into the Adina, before I met Swamiji, I used to enjoy work. For me, work was worship, work was life, and work was everything for me. My life, my family, my friends, everything was only work. But I feel after I met Swamiji that what I understood as work, as my life and my work and my passion and everything was a very limited understanding of what I had, and I thought I was doing it, but apparently not. I wasn't doing it as I should have done and as I could have done when I was outside. So when I started understanding that better, I was only more excited that I could do more. And of course, Swamiji's grace um, and of course, his energy is one thing, and his mission and the vision of for humanity that he has, I think that is something immense. Even if there are 100 of us, it is just not going to be enough to complete. I think Swamiji's mission and his Mm, drive is also not a right word. I don't know how to describe it in the language that we know, but what he wants to do for each and every human being in this planet Earth is just an amazing driving component for me. Like he wants to make each and every individual's life better in its qualitative sense, not just saying, okay, you'll get wealth or you'll get health, but from the way we live life itself. And having experienced that in the last 10 years, even for me, see, like you said outside, I was pretty successful and I had everything that I needed. Today, if we define a quality of life, we define life with the brands that we use or the cars that we drive in. Oh, she's driving a Merc or she's driving a Benz, so she's got a very good life. But that is not the life, or that is not how we should be measuring our life. By now, all of us do know that. No matter how wealthy you are outside, no matter how successful you are outside, unless that component that Swamiji is trying to teach you about life is incorporated into your everyday thinking, everyday action, I don't think we actually understand life in its actual sense. And the way Swamiji continuously keeps giving to other people, continuously keeps himself open to continuously only give to people. I think that is the driving factor for me. I don't think I have anything else to say, even though I keep feeling, oh, I feel like retiring. I have worked enough, and I just want to put my feet up and let the next generation do it. But when I see the volume of work he has, Swamiji is going to accomplish, I want to be part of that. I want to be part of that is going to create something immensely huge, immense goodness for this whole humanity. And anybody who misses this opportunity, I think, will not forgive themselves. Because from outside, it's easy to say, oh, we're just another religious order. No, we're not just another religious order in its any sense or even by definition. I mean, I'm just trying to tell you kids, but you kids have experienced Swamiji as his daughters, as his Gurukul Balasans, which is, as I said last time, I used to be crazily jealous of not being a Gurukul Balasan, being there when Swamiji is there. Afterwards, after 200, 300 years, being a Gurukul Balasan doesn't matter because then Swamiji is not there. But then whoever has experienced that quality of Swamiji, who's constantly giving to others, I think will never ever miss wanting to be part of his mission, which is his life. If you want to be part of Swamiji's life, you're part of his mission. And when you understand even a little, I will not say I even understand the depth of what Swamiji wants to give. For me, it is again a very social understanding. But when he says quality of life, I understand it as he wants every human being to live without without desires, without guilt, without anger, without violence. This is my understanding of the quality of life that Swamiji wants to give. For that mission, anything is worth the sacrifice. I mean, sacrifice is a too small a word, but I don't have anything better in English to say. But to give that to each and every human being, to see that better quality of life for human beings, I think I can work.
Yes, like, I think, my God, I can just resonate with it so much. Like how each of us we just seeing Swamiji's mission and his work, it just gives us so much of life to be a part of it. Akka,
And
you were
actually,
sharing.
just to add to this, because what Akka is telling, something that I have seen, like you do it, like when you're telling that is your driving factor. I just want to share a few moments. Like for example, like when there is a project, Swamiji gives a new vision, be it in the middle of the night or it's like somewhere in the midday. You might be with hundreds of other things to do. You will always make sure that vision comes immediately. You'll call for that meeting. You'll make sure the whole thing starts rolling. And I have seen you, like there's many times, there was at least a week that I spent with you where that entire week you hadn't slept. That was like something you used to sit like work like, I was like, oh my God, how is she working like this? I even came and asked, Akka, do you want to just go rest? And you're like, no, just little more. I want to finish this and then do. So that when we are telling to people that how much Swamiji's mission can inspire us, it is to this level where you will be without even sleeping. Like you for almost a week, you did not even sleep. You are continuously working. That was something amazing. So that shows how much you're driven for Swamiji's mission, Akka.
Akka, actually, when you were talking about this, you told like when you were sharing after meeting Swamiji, how everything has been redefined for you. Like even before you are doing lots of hard work, but now even the very definition, like you were sharing, the way you define work, that itself has completely changed. Actually, this popped another question in me. When you were outside, Akka, like it's not normal for a woman from a very conservative family at her 16 to enter into the movie film industry in a world where there are lots of male dominancy and there's a lot to it. So at your young age, with no support, or I should say with no godfather or any of that kind, you just went and you just achieved success so easily. You just built your own path and you did lots of hard work, and there was so much of strength what you demonstrated just by achieving what you had achieved with so many fan clubs. You just in a short span of time you achieved lots of success. Now that strength versus when there was so much of attack where they used your name, they used you and attacked your own guru using you. They attacked Swamiji just using your name, and they threatened you, they blackmailed you. You were subjected to so much of character assassination, and there was a lot to it, Akka. And at that time also, the strength that you stood with. Today, for so many of us, like even a small thing, when we see, or when we see someone trying to use us to attack Swamiji, we are just reminded, no, we can stand up. Our integrity and chastity is enough. So that strength that you had demonstrated while facing this huge persecution, now both of it shows how much of inner strength you have had. Now after sannyas, when you took sannyas, and when you are living the life of sannyas, how has sannyas reflected in your inner strength, Akka?
See, for all of us, I would say the role model is, of course, Swamiji, and you just cannot match it. So, the more for me, my role model, like I said, is Swamiji, is to become like Swamiji. So I'm always constantly trying to keep that up, and that is what drives me. I don't know whether it's an inner strength or just my. I think it's just Swamiji what he lives, the way he lives. I want to live like that, without anything impacting your inner space. And the most today, all over the world, I think one of the most epidemic disease for human beings is hate and jealousy. Not the pandemic, not the viruses. Of course, that's on the physical level or the very materialistic level. But the hate, the violence, the jealousy that human beings experience, even at a very molecular, minuscule level, is so immensely frightening if you think of the future of human beings or humanity here. And what Swamiji is 360-degree opposite of that. And we have all seen, I have never seen the word hate anywhere in his dictionary or in Way's expression, nor even the worst of the worst people who would have betrayed him or let him down 3,050 times comes back. He does not have it inside of him. It's not that you can act. I've lived in the Adina for 10 years now. I think all of us seniors who have been here for more than 10, 15 years can really say that you can understand when someone has it in his inner space. But Swamiji not having that in his inner space, no hate or no ego, I think if I can achieve even a small percentage of that, I would consider that only as my success. So that is what drives me. To sannyas, whether we define it as sannyas, because Swamiji defines it as sannyas. But if Swamiji defines it as something else, that would be it, because for me, the role model is to become like Swamiji. The inner space he holds, the way he relates to human beings, the way he relates to people. Oh my God, it's an immense love. If anybody wants to experience love in its purest form, and if I'll even go to another step, if anybody wants to experience someone who would do anything just because you've committed to him as a disciple, that would be Swamiji.
10 years you have lived with Swamiji, Akka, and still like continuously you're discovering something more new about Swamiji every day, and still odd. That itself is like something. Usually when we live with someone for so long, then we feel like, yes, we know everything about that person. But 10 years and still like every single day you're like amazed. Oh wow, Swamiji told us, and this is something amazing, like a new dimension of Swamiji. So exciting.
Sorry, I was going to say it's because he does not carry any past baggage about anyone. This I have experienced it with Swamiji. Like for me at least, if someone has caused me any hurt, or what I feel they have let me down, or even if someone has gossiped about me or spoken ill about me, I would definitely feel in my heart, even though I may interact with them at a very social, polite level, and but I would still, it'll be in my heart. I would create a distance intentionally, and keep a very, very polite face of them. But Swamiji has never been like that with anybody, even though he knows people are backbiting, people are doing things behind his back. And even after that, once a person comes back and says, Swamiji, I want to complete and I want to live in the Adinam. Swamiji does not carry the past baggage of, oh, she or he has behaved like this or has done this, so it's better I keep a distance. That has never been, let me say, the non-judgmental aspect of Swamiji's relationship with us, with all of us. I just feel there are so many dimensions. If any one quality also, if all human beings can actually start living, the world will be such a better place. It's such a beautiful world to live in for all of us.
So true, Ka. Especially when talking about Swamiji's compassion and the way how he holds each person. So, Ka, today we even have a special segment for you. All the sannyasis. See, in the Sangha there are like thousands of sannyasis from different walks of life. Some from Microsoft, some from Cognizant, entrepreneurs, businesswomen, etc., who have given up everything and taken up sannyas and are here.
And I think each of them will have a completely different perspective, because just the three of us, when we are talking, I'm realizing how each of us enjoy one dimension of Swamiji, and there's a lot about that itself. Now, with thousands of women from different walks of life from the society, and all of them have a completely different, unique understandings about sannyas. And the moment we talk about having a question answer session with you, all of us were excited and all of us had thousands of questions to ask you. So for you, a small surprise segment, we have sannyasis who have, from all the sannyasis, many sannyasis from our Sangha have sent their questions. They have their questions to ask you. Personally, what they have seen with you, because I know many people have seen you for before you took sannyas. From the time many have grown up seeing you as an actress, and many of them have seen, and many of us all of us are working with you now as sannyasis. So many of them have different questions to ask you. So this is a short surprise segment for you.
Nithyananda, in my experience, as I saw you, one side you are actually waging the war with the anti-Hindu elements who tried assassinate Swamiji and few of our Sangha members, even including you. And the other side, mothering all of us, holding us with so much of completion and bringing us to completion. I look these two as both two extremes. So how did you victoriously balance and manage both?
Nithyananda Mahatma, actually when you're verbalizing it only, I feel it is like two different opposing dimensions of a person. But when we are around Swamiji and guided by Swamiji, we don't feel that, because when you're actually doing the work, you don't feel there are two different things. I think that is the uniqueness of sannyas. That is where you feel the wholesomeness of a human being. The entirety of human being is to both be a leader and to be able to mother. Since you are using the word mother, I am just reusing it and copying the word. Mother people is like, normally you would see it as two opposite expressions in a human being. Because when you say warring with the anti-Hindus, it would be like someone who's a fighter. On the other hand, when you're saying someone like a mother, you would think of them as a soft person and is always ready to do anything for the children and sacrifice anything for the children. These are the two characteristics that come to mind when we define a warrior and when we define a mother. But unfortunately, I think it's a society that has led to believe that they are two independent characteristics and one can never meet the other, which is where I feel that today most of us suffer. Most of us have conflicts. For example, if I have to be stern about something or ferocious about something or be really stubborn or take this very warrior-like stance about something, then immediately there's a conflict in my mind. Oh, but I'm such a soft-spoken person. I don't like conflicts, and I shouldn't be taking conflicts. Good people don't get into conflicts. This is the kind of thought current that we've all been brought up with, and for me also that has been the thought current actually. Good people, respectable people don't get into conflicts. This is the definition of a good person, the definition of a respectable person in a society. You be nice, you be good, you're soft spoken, and everybody thinks you're a very graceful personality. But being a sannyasi, especially in Swami Sangha, in the Nithyananda order, the one thing you realize is, so like I was saying, this is what the society teaches us. It teaches us that if you're a mother, you're a soft-spoken lady, you don't get into conflicts, you don't get into any kind of, you don't stand up for yourself. You should not stand up for yourself. You take care of your children and you take care of your family, and whatever comes, you just tolerate it and you go along with it. You don't need to stand and defend for yourself, for your rights, for your freedom, for who you are. This is how the society defines nice. The moment you do not fall into the definition, then of course you are defined as various definitions. Oh, she's a fighter cop, in a simpler term, or a charlatan, or she's a mother of 3 children, but see how she behaves. This is the kind of talk goes on. What sannyas has taught me and what Swamiji has taught me in the last 10 years is we need to have a clear definition of what we are integrated to and what we are committed to with our life. And when that integrity and commitment is being made to compromise due to external factors, then it is our right to defend ourselves. We do not go into war, we do not covet others' wealth. That is one of Swamiji's most principle, one of Swamiji's, I think, another component of Swamiji's which the world would just be blown away is the integrity to each and every donation that comes in. Let me not say wealth, because it can be misconstituted. Each and every penny that comes in as a donation, the kind of integrity Swamiji has taught us also, not only he has taught us, each of us, whatever the purpose the donation has been given to, we have to be integrated to that intention. So the very fact coveting of wealth or aspiring for what others have, these are all the things that Swamiji teaches us are wrong, and these are the things that we need to fight with ourselves and come out of it and be in completion and achieve what we want through hard work and dedication. Whereas in the world, it's not like that. So there are the 360-degree differences of the world and inside and outside is so vast and so immense.
Nithyanandam, so what you just saw now is the first part of the series, Sannyas, what, when, how and why. If you have any of your questions that you wanted to be answered, take a moment and tweet your questions using the hashtag Nithyananda and hashtag Ask Sanyas. And make sure you share, like and subscribe so that you don't miss the next upcoming episodes. Thank you, Nithyanandam.